Hi everyone, this is Elizabeth. I wanted to take a moment to provide some clarification about an email that was sent out this afternoon to ESE case managers and related service providers. The topic of the email is the creation of a temporary distance learning plan document. So the district is asking that we create a written document that simply states the services that we are providing to students with disabilities during this distance learning time. So the document is going to be created through Focus. When you go into the SSS portion of Focus, there will be a tab there that you will find called Distance Learning Plan. When you click that tab, at the top of the document, you will find that all of the demographic information for the student is already pre-populated for you. There are only two sections of this document that you will complete. There is a section about halfway down called Parent Input. This is the part where you are going to identify what happened when you called the parent at the beginning of our digital learning journey, phase one, if you will, way back in March. So there is no need to call parents now because you're already doing this work, and this document is simply to just make sure that we have a written record of what you're doing. So think back to March when we started this. If you called and you were unable to get to the parent and you've never spoken to the parent about the services that you are providing to their student, there is an indicator there that says parent was not able to be reached, and that's what you will click, and then you're done with that section. But if you were able to speak with the parent and you shared the plan of service that you're going to provide, and the parent said, "Thank you, I appreciate you calling, this sounds good," then you'll click the second one, the second option, and that says parent agreed to plan without additional input, and then you move on to the next section of the form. But if when you were speaking to the parent back in March, they said, "Thank you for calling, but do you think that maybe you could call in the mornings instead of the afternoons? Or do you think you could call on Wednesday instead of any other day because I've got multiple kids and Wednesday is going to be the best?" That's called parent input, and that will be the third option that you will click. And it says parent provided input on development of the plan. When you click that, there will be a text box underneath, and you are simply to create a bullet point, just putting the information that the parent shared with you in there. You're not to create a sentence, you're not to write a paragraph. It's very simple, to the point, the facts. And then you move on to the last section of the form. The last section of the form is the interim plan of service provision. So this is where you're going to actually write what you're doing. So if you're providing instructional services to the student, you list the service, the method of delivery, and the frequency. So let's say I'm a support facilitator working in an elementary school and I'm providing math support. Let's say I'm meeting with a student 3 times a week. In that box, I would simply write math. I would write down how I'm reaching the student, more than likely teams. So I would put teams in there, and then 3 times a week. If I'm a self-contained teacher, I would put ELA 2 times a week, teams. Math 2 times a week, teams. It's that simple. If you're in secondary and you're a support facilitator, you just simply write down what it is you're doing: the service, the method of delivery, and the frequency. If I'm a related service provider, I'm going to do the same thing, but there's a second box to do that in. Again, service, method of delivery, frequency. That completes the form. The one thing that I'd like to say about the form is if I am completing a form for a student that I know has a related service and I'm the instructional service provider, I'm going to want to coordinate with that other person so that I can get all of the information on the form in Focus before I lock the form. Now, you are going to be provided a full contractual day to complete this work. The district has set aside Friday, May 15th as the day when you will be relieved of all teaching duties so that you can complete this. If you have an IEP scheduled on Friday, May 15th, you are to work with your administrator to select an alternative day before the 15th. But you have a full contractual day to do this work. So once you get the form completed and it's locked in Focus, you're going to want to save it as a PDF. and then we're going to need to email those out to parents. Um, for me, I think the emailing of the form out is actually going to be the most cumbersome and most difficult part. But again, you have an entire day to do this. This is a one-time task. You don't need to do this more than once, and then you're done. So I hope that helps to clear up any misunderstandings or any confusion about what's expected. As always, if you need something, call us, leave a message, we'll call you back, reach out to us through email, but let us know if you need support. We are here to help you, and we want to make this process as manageable for you as we possibly can. Thank you.